normal people become terrified of criminals.
Shots were just fired. Police just came out and told us, and we're headed there right now.
They become terrified of their own government.
This is tweeted from Elon Musk. He says fraud has both civil and criminal penalties. Ken Paxton, Attorney General, has of the great state of Texas, has announced an investigation into media matters for potential fraud, saying the Office of the Attorney General is opening an investigation into media matters for potential fraudulent activity. Under the Texas Bureau Organizations Code and Deceptive Trade Practices Act, the OAG will vigorously enforce against nonprofits who commit fraudulent acts in or affecting the state of Texas. Attorney General Paxton was extremely troubled by the allegations that Media Matters, a radical anti-free speech organization, fraudulently manipulated data on X, formerly known as Twitter. Quote, we are examining the issue closely to ensure the public has not been deceived by the schemes of radical left-wing organizations who would like nothing more than to limit free speech by reducing participation in the public square, said Attorney General Paxton. Ladies and gentlemen, come on.
There you go.
Tell me you are you are black-pilled, okay? We are looking at a major turn. Ken Paxton, of course, I'm not surprised to see him doing this. This dude means business. If Missouri follows suit, because they announced first they were looking into it, Paxton probably saw that and was like, hey, man, we're on board. Announces this. Potential criminal literal criminal investigation,
That's
potential
wild,
criminal charges of the people at Media Matters. I got to say this, Elon Musk, IP ban all Media Matters employees. No question. If you want to argue free speech, I'll argue free speech. If you want to argue they disliked things that were said, argue things that they disliked things. But if you are saying you have proof they manipulated the platform for fraudulent activities, you are the judge and the jury here. So I think it's fair to say if you are using a platform to engage in fraud, criminal and civil tort violations, then you should be banned.
Martin Shkreli replied to that tweet by Elon Musk, and he just goes, "Can confirm."
I'm friends with him. He's the man.
Fraud has consequences.
He seems great.
Oh, he's the man.
Hilarious.
Martin is the man.
Oh, he's so funny at least on X. I know a lot of people hate him. I think he's hilarious. I think he's great.
He's the man.
What's if this Media Matters gets found guilty, liable for fraud and everything? Then what would they have to pay out damages?
Criminal. It's like that's criminal.
It's
I don't
going
know who
to it's going to be the people. So what's going to happen is with a fraud investigation for a charity, they're not going to go Media Matters committed fraud. They're going to say John Smith,
whoever's the head
fake
of it.
name, John Doe or Jane Doe, said these things fraudulently in an effort to engage in these behaviors.
So they'll take out the employees that committed fraud, will get their criminal filings, and then the company itself, is it going to take a civil hit because it's got 11 million in assets in 21?
Well, I think this might be the end.
Yeah, but like, what stops just some new operation from just kind of?
Yeah, I mean,
all they do
the
is just
thing.
like follow 30 Twitter accounts. It's
And here's the issue with going up against government. Texas has effectively unlimited funds.
Yeah.
You're 11 million in assets, bro. That's not enough to maintain a couple car dealerships.
That was in 2021. Was
Right.
what they had on hand was 11 million.
And so what I imagine happening now is facing a massive lawsuit from Elon Musk and an investigation from Ken Paxton. They're going to get buried in legal paperwork. They're not going to be able to afford the lawyers.
They deserve it. They've really, really screwed the pooch on this. They went too far. If they actually doctored up images to get
well, they just misrepresented. Yeah,
advertisers to leave the company, that is
the issue is
trash.
they didn't have to do it before, but they're desperate. What is happening now with the narrative machine, the neoliberal, neoconservative uniparty is they are so desperate because they're losing every day. They have to engage in more and more extreme activities. It used to be that they could make a phone call to one of their cult members at Twitter and they'd say, okay, we understand, we'll do as we're told.
The FBI.
Right, the FBI calls up and says, we just think this shouldn't be there if you get our drift. Like, you got it, boss.
Yep.
Now they're calling Elon and he's like, well, actually, I'm the richest man in the world, so I got more fuck you money than you can imagine. Have a nice day. And now they're like, what do we do? There's nothing we have. Elon's done nothing wrong, so they must now fabricate it. And that's risky. And it's a losing strategy, and they're going to lose because of it.
And the funny thing is they've been doing this stuff for so long that probably never crossed anybody's mind that this was a bad idea.
Yep.
Like, they've been just getting away with this forever.
Yep.
And nobody probably said, hey, this isn't maybe the best idea to do this.
Yeah, it was like it was incrementally getting worse.
Well, they just probably have never had, and they've probably done this to tons of companies.
Right.
And just kept they go, yeah, look how many companies we shut down. Like, this works.
A lot of companies probably just say, we'll do what you tell us.
Yeah.
Media Matters says, hey, you said a naughty word. And they go, okay, fine, we'll take it down because it's easier than dealing with a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Now they just ripped away probably, like $500 million in ad revenue potentially. And Twitter can prove it. The funny thing is these companies don't get it. They're going to be on the hook for 500 million plus.
Oh, they'll go bankrupt.
They'll cease to exist overnight.
Yeah.
Now, fair point. They will start another one and try and reopen another one, but precedent is being set. If Republican AGs are now willing to go after for criminal charges, they will not be able to spit up another company. The basic strategy of, hey, Elon's racist didn't work.
Yeah.
It didn't work anymore. It used to work. It used to be, hey, Elon's racist. And then the CEO would be like, no, I'm not. Advertiser would threaten a boycott. They'd say, oh, mea culpa, I'm so sorry. And then everyone would say, okay, now that you've pledged to the cult, you're free to go. But that's not working anymore. Elon buys Twitter and laughs in their faces. So what do? Now they have to take it to an extreme, doctoring a circumstance in order to try and get advertisers to pull out. And now it's easily provable. Discovery is going to be a bitch.
Yeah. This will be interesting to see if there's actual criminal charges that...
It's beyond that. Discovery may lead to government exposure.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet you will find communications between Media Matters and people in government. No question.
Oof. Well, I'd love to see who funds them.
They're paying out $6 million in wages in 2021.
And I bet it's like one guy getting $1 million.
Oh, yeah.
1.6 million to the executives and then another 6 million to other salaries.
You can look up the salaries explicitly. Like you can look up the names and how much money they get
I'm more
paid.
interested in what kind of what do they produce? If you even ask them, what have you done? It's the
we call out right-wing misinformation.
What do you do here?
They have a mission statement on the
so they're community notes, basically. They've been just replaced by community notes, essentially. That's what you do, is you just start community notes?
Yeah, but look, community notes is real, though it can be manipulated. Media Matters just makes things up.
Yeah. No,
it's a 501c3 progressive research and information center dedicated to comprehensively monitoring, analyzing, and correcting conservative misinformation in the U.S. media. So it's literally a propaganda outfit, looking to do what it can to harm people that have different opinions.
Digital snitching.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's beyond that now because they went out of their way to fake evidence.
It's
fabricating.
I think you can
call that fabrication of evidence.
Yeah, it's fraud.
That's fraud.
It's man. Tortious interference is crazy enough, right? Like if Phil and Danny had a contract, and then I went to Phil and said, cancel that contract with Danny or else, that's tortious interference.
Yeah.
They're doing that, but they're also fabricating evidence in order to get away with it. That's crazy.
With one of the most high-profile
according
people
to the
on
lawsuit.
Earth.
Put some people on blast that work for the company. This is in 2021. Angela Caruson, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah,
president
isn't
and CEO.
that guy like an anti-Semite?
Made $500,000 that year. I don't know.
But he has like a history of posting a bunch of racist stuff, doesn't he?
I mean, if you go back far enough in most people's Twitter and stuff
don't
like
look
that,
at mine.
You get some interesting stuff.
Yeah.
You don't want to see the conversations I had at
Danny
Taco
does
Bell
not
when
like
I was 14. I don't know any of these people. David Brock, is that the guy that founded Media Matters in 2004? He's still the chairman of the company, made $300,000.
Yeah.
2000.
For what?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, hey,
for
you
being
guys,
the chairman.
You guys find any misinformation today? No?
I'll be around twice a year for a 1 hour call.
Keep looking, guys.
$300,000.
There's lots of misinformation out there.
Look, you got to go watch all the right wing media, and then
it's like some job for someone who's just literally just watches Ben Shapiro all day. Is that misinformation?
That's what they do.
Literally.
Yes, literally. And then they get on the internet and they're like a dickhead about it.
Yeah.
What's your
they probably
job?
have really formal reports and stuff like.
What's your job? I watch Ben Shapiro and I'm an asshole about it.
What more can you expect?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how you guys could be blackpilled. I mean, I think we're winning. I think the important thing to understand is this. On the battlefield, when you see the enemy break ranks, you don't say, okay, we're done. You say, charge.
Yeah.
Now more than ever. And you know what I want to say? It was a few weeks ago I said this. And now what I think we're actually seeing is the storming of the battlefield. All of these lawsuits, these people pushing back the pledges to sponsor, to buy ads on X. This is everyone basically saying, we're winning, full speed ahead.
And you know, what feels like the cavalry going in to finish the rout is the government picking up the lawsuit.
So-
the Texas state government, and who was it? Missouri state government? Is that who said?
Missouri AG said he was looking into it, and the AG of Texas announced an investigation.
That's the cavalry coming in.
Oh, that's
So-
the riders of Rohan, dude. We're looking up the hill, and that light's shining down.
I'm not sure
The
how.
Battle of Helm's Deep will be won.
I'm not sure how accurate this is, but someone is tweeting that the judge that will be hearing the Elon Musk bombshell lawsuit against Media Matters was appointed by Donald Trump. Judge Mark T. Pittman is the same judge that ordered the FDA to release the Pfizer files.
Ooh.
Oh,
It's gonna get fun.
my.
Are there any nonpartisan like misinformation charities? Like,
No.
Are they all just partisan?
They're all partisan.
Yeah, all partisan.
They're all
Because
just, like,
misinformation was the term misinformation in modern parlance has been created to say stuff that doesn't line up with the
with
official
a
narrative.
yeah.
Okay.
If it's misinformation, it just means things the government doesn't want you to think.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.